It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Chief, Bart Brunsheen.
Hey folks, it's the Chief from the Dice Tower. I apologize for the white t-shirt. I just got home from work, went to do some editing on Plague, the trick-taking game, and my intro and exit were corrupted. So Plague is a very nice, compact, and fairly simple yet unique take on the standard trick-taking game. I've played several hands and I enjoy it. I'm not a huge trick-taking card game player anymore. Used to play a ton when I was in the Army, primarily because a deck of cards is so portable and you can play so many different games and you can do them about anywhere. But let's go ahead and go take a closer look at Plague.
All right, here we have a hand of Plague cards dealt out. I'm just going to show you a two-person version. Best played, I believe, with four. Like most trick-taking games, you really need more people. But I can show you here with this. With two people, you take the deck of cards, you take the top six right off the top, and they go out of the game. So they're not going to be involved. And you don't peek at them. So that way you never quite know what everybody has in their hand. You then deal out equally. Each player gets 15 cards, and the person that didn't deal will lead off with a hand of or with a card they want to play. So let's say the opposing player plays the 10. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see here. So let's say he plays his red 10. I'm going to have to follow suit. All right, I'm within the suit. So if I play my 8, he's got the higher combat value. 10 will beat the 8. He will take that suit, but he's only going to get a 1 victory point. And he'll just collect that and place it off to the side. Where the game will get interesting is if he were to run out of red cards, and I'd let in, or the opposing player had let in, let's just say a 6, I do not have a red card. I could do a couple things. I could play in a Plague card. When you play in a Plague card, it automatically gives whoever's leading on that suit-colored card, in this case, a two-person game, it's going to go to the other player, but if you had multiple people playing, whoever wins with the combat value is also going to end up sucking this into their deck. As you can see, it's going to give a negative 10. When you win, you put the card that you won on top with a Plague card. It ends up basically killing everybody, and it's going to go into your kind of victory stack, and it's going to haunt you, obviously, later, because it's going to end up subtracting from your total. The other option I could have had, rather than playing in the Plague card with the 6, blue cards will always trump, even the lowest blue card will always trump any red card. And it's a good way for me to lay in some points if I've got a low blue, and I do. So you'll see I've got this low little number 1 combat value Joker looking guy, and he's worth 10 victory points for me. So am I wanting to hurt the guy if I have a death card? I may not have one, or a Plague card, and load him up with that, or do I want to jump on this and trump him and end up taking the card for myself? Very easy decision in a two-person game, generally. In a 3 or 4-person game, someone may have a blue themselves and come in and overtake my 1. So that's where you get a little bit of flavor that's going on here, and I love the rock, paper, scissors of blue trumps red, red cards trump any green, and any green trumps any blue. So you've got to really watch for that. The only other thing that comes into play is a cleric can be played at any time. He will always win, and he does no positive points for you, but you can come in and set him down on a Plague card, and he will cancel out that negative. So it's a nice little wild card to get in your hand, and can remove that damage that someone has done to you by hooking you in with a Plague card. And that is about it. Definitely the more people, if you have the 4-person game going, I find it much more enjoyable. I've played several 2-person games, not bad. There's just so many better 2-person games out there. So, but again, it's like any trick-taking game, 4 is a really sweet spot. And that's Plague.
Just by looking at it, obviously the main differences you have is you have the kind of the rock, paper, scissors. One color can trump out another color, and then system of a low-numbered card being worth a lot of victory points. So if you can play that right, and you run out of that certain suit, and you can come in and take advantage of it, it's got a real nice aspect of kind of take that, and then mixing in the plague cards, which will deal out some damage, and the cleric that can neutralize that. Unique feel. See you guys. It's the Chief from the Dice Tower with my white t-shirt.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.